Your limitation is your imagination. I am Ritu Singh, your science teacher, and today we will continue our previous chapter, which is chapter 11, Transportation in Animals and Plants. Okay, so earlier in this chapter we have discussed about our circulatory system. Our circulatory system is made of some components, and we have talked about those components or those parts of our body in this chapter, and we have talked about blood, that what are the components of blood, how blood is made, and how blood is circulated in our body, right? But today, we'll continue the same topic, but today we'll talk about pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. What is pulmonary artery? As we have talked about arteries, that arteries have oxygenated blood inside them, right? But pulmonary artery is exception of that, because pulmonary artery is the only artery which has deoxygenated blood inside. Okay, the pulmonary artery is a special blood vessel that connects the heart to the lungs. It takes blood that contain less oxygen or deoxygenated blood, as I was talking about, from the heart to the lungs. Hence, it is unlike all other arteries that carry oxygen-rich blood. So, it is different from those arteries which carry oxygenated blood. Okay, because this artery carry deoxygenated blood or less oxygenated blood from heart to the lungs. Okay, and what is pulmonary vein? Pulmonary vein is the only vein which carry oxygenated blood. As we have studied about veins, that veins always carry deoxygenated blood, but pulmonary vein is exception for that. Okay, because the pulmonary vein is a special blood vessel that connects the lungs and the heart. It carries oxygen-rich blood from the lungs to the heart. Okay, because it always brings, or it always carry that oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. Okay, this is why this vein is a special blood vessel, and this artery is also a special blood vessel. Okay, hence it is unlike all other veins that carry oxygen-less blood. As I was talking about, that all veins have deoxygenated blood, but this vein has oxygenated blood. Okay, now we'll talk about capillaries. What are capillaries? Small blood vessels are called capillaries. The arteries divide themselves into capillaries. Okay, arteries which carry pure blood divide themselves into capillaries in small veins, in small tube-like structures. Okay, which then deliver oxygenated blood to the tissues in the body. As you know that our body is made of cell. Okay, and then these cells together make a tissue. So how our blood is circulated in those cells, in those tissues, because of, with the help of these capillaries. Okay, these small tube-like structures supply blood to these tissues. Okay, then these capillaries take up the deoxygenated blood from the tissues to the veins. Same as that, if arteries are dividing their pure blood with the help of these capillaries, then veins also use these capillaries to get deoxygenated blood from the all parts of the body to the heart. Okay, so these are lungs, pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, vein, artery, and these are small capillaries. And this is how our blood is circulated. Impure blood can be brought here in our heart. Then our heart purify that blood. Okay, and then that less purified blood is sent to the lungs. Then these lungs mix oxygen with that less oxygenated or less pure blood, and then that blood is sent here back to the heart, and then it is supplied through the arteries to the all parts of our body. Okay, and these capillaries also help our heart or our arteries to supply that blood to all the parts of our body. Now we'll discuss about heart. What is heart? The heart is an organ present in our body that pumps the blood in the blood vessels. We have already studied about it, that what is heart? Heart is that part which purifies the impure blood, or whenever we eat something, heart uses that food component, those all components, as the form of energy. How is it possible? It is possible because that food is mixed with that blood only. Okay, and how this blood is purified? This blood is purified with the help of our heart. Okay, it is located in the chest cavity. Its lower part is a little tilted towards the left. As you can see this diagram, this is the diagram of heart. Okay, so as it is tilted, right? The heart is divided into 4 chambers which prevent the oxygen-rich blood from mixing with carbon dioxide-rich blood. Okay, as I was talking about, that our heart is divided into 4 parts. Right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle. Okay, so these are 4 parts of our heart. We can also call these parts as chambers. So these are 4 chambers of our heart. Okay, the atria or upper chambers contain the blood with no oxygen. So impure blood is found here in atria or upper chambers. Okay, these are upper chambers. Okay, the ventricle or the lower chambers of the heart contain oxygen-rich blood. These are lower chambers and these have oxygen-rich blood. Okay, the atria and the ventricles both are individually divided within themselves into 2 chambers with the help of valves. As I told you that we have valves. Okay, so here we have valves. Here also. Okay, and these valves help our heart to not mix that blood. Okay, so that deoxygenated blood should be separated from the oxygenated blood. Okay, from the left ventricle, the biggest artery of our body called aorta begins. Okay, here it is aorta. The right atrium of the body receives deoxygenated blood. The right part of our body receives deoxygenated blood, and the left part of our body or left part of our heart have oxygenated blood. What is oxygenated and what is deoxygenated blood? As I told you before in this chapter only, that deoxygenated blood is impure blood and oxygenated blood is pure blood. Okay, oxygenated blood is carried out from lungs and deoxygenated blood is carried out from the all parts of our body. Okay, so this is how our heart purifies our blood. And this is the flow of blood in human body. Okay, so this is a circular motion. Okay, like our heart passes the blood to the lungs, and then lungs pass that blood to our heart, and then again our heart receives that blood and supply that blood to the other parts of our body. Okay, so that how our blood flows in our body. Okay, so let's start from here. That as we were talking about, that our veins supply the impure blood to our heart, and which part of our heart receives that impure blood? Impure blood or deoxygenated blood, it is received by the right atrium. Okay, then this right atrium supplies this impure blood to right ventricle as this tricuspid valve opens. Okay, and this deoxygenated blood is supplied here in right ventricle. Then pulmonary semilunar valve opens and this impure blood is supplied here in pulmonary trunk. Okay, from here it is carried out by pulmonary artery to lungs. Then oxygen can be mixed here by lungs in that blood. Okay, and then oxygenated blood is carried out from lungs to the hearts by pulmonary veins. As we were talking about pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Pulmonary vein is the only vein that carries oxygenated blood, and pulmonary artery is the only artery which carries deoxygenated blood. Okay, so blood is brought here in left atrium. Then that bicuspid valve opens and that blood is supplied here in left ventricle. Then left ventricle, from left ventricle it is supplied by aortic semilunar valve to the aorta, and then it is supplied to the all parts of our body. Okay, and this is how blood flows in our body, and this process goes on. Okay, now we'll talk about heartbeat. What is heartbeat? Have you ever heard that lubbed up sound of heart? Right? What is that? That rhythmic sound is called heartbeat. As we know that our heart always contract and expand. Contract and expand. Contraction and expansion is important for our heart, and that sound, that rhythmic sound is called one heartbeat. Once a contraction and an expansion together make a heartbeat. Okay? The stethoscope is an instrument that is used to listen to the heartbeat of a person. Stethoscope, if you have ever seen this is stethoscope. It is used to hear the sound or heartbeat of a human. Okay, it is used by doctors. Okay, it's used to listen to the heartbeat of a person. It implies the heartbeat so that the doctor can monitor it and find out about the patient's condition. As we talked about the heartbeats, number of heartbeats, that if we have 70 to 80 heartbeats or 70 to 80 rhythmic sounds or pulses in a minute, then we are normal. But if we are having more than that, some more than, like if I am having 95 and more than 100, that means I have fever. I am not normal. Okay, and it could also affect be also affected by our blood pressure. Okay, it contains two earpieces. As here you can see that here we have two earpieces, a tube that connect them to a chest piece. Okay, comprising of a sensitive diaphragm. Okay, so these are the parts of the stethoscope: earpieces, tubing, binaural spring, bell, diaphragm. Okay, so these are some parts of stethoscope. So students, this is for today. I hope you enjoyed today's class because it is very interesting for us to know about our body. I am always curious to know about my body, that how my heart pumps my blood and how my eyes are working, how my ear is working. So I am also curious about it, and I am sure that you guys were also curious about this chapter and this topic. So this is it. Thank you so much. Stay home, stay safe.